A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast Club on Asake Online. My name is Sizwakele Ndlovu. On the program today, I'm going to be chatting to Mr. Kwanele Nxumalo, and he is with Abammeli. We are continuing our discussion on Section 67 of political rights, which states and breaks down political rights in the Constitution of Zimbabwe. Mr. Nxumalo, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Just to give a bit of background to our viewers, in a previous program with Mr. Stole, we started our discussion on Section 67 political rights, and we went over Section 1A and 1B, which was basically that every Zimbabwean has the right to free, fair and regular elections for any elective public office, and they have the right to make political choices freely. We're continuing this discussion with Section 2, with Part 2 of Section 67, and we are going to find out more about that section. If you can just take us through Part 2 of political rights.
Okay, for the benefit of the viewers, I'll just have a quick rundown on subsection 2 of Section 67 of our Constitution. It just causes subsection 2A says to subject to this Constitution, every citizen has the right to form, join, and to participate in the activities of a political party or organization of their choice. B, to campaign freely, peacefully for a political party or cause, to participate in peaceful political activity, to participate individually or collectively in gatherings or groups, or in any other manner in peaceful activities to influence, challenge, or support the policies of the government or any political or whatever cause. So basically that's those are our political rights. Well, in my view, this subsection concentrates muchly on how a citizen has to practice their political rights. Yeah, the freedom of association, the right to choose a party, political party, to partake in activities of a political party, and so forth and so forth. What I'm seeing from this section, if we look at the history of our country, well, there was a time, well, maybe that I would say there was an attempt to put in place something which was called a one-party state. But then thank God to democracy, now we have got a multi-party system in Zimbabwe. There are so many political parties as we speak right now.
We've lost
the number. There are so many political parties right now. So now, part of these rights that I've just read about just right now, just include the right for someone who is able to vote to actually choose a political party that they want to vote for, and also to partake in the political activities of that party, and so forth. So,
okay, so basically, so I am able to form my own political party, Sizwakele Freedom Party, and I am able to campaign, participate, and in any peaceful political activity. Ngilombuzo lapho kuthiwa campaign freely and peacefully.
Yes.
And it's not just in recent times that we have seen rather unpeaceful campaigning happening. What happens in such a case? Saying formally party yami, and I'm trying to go out and vote, in Ghana votes, and people start disrupting me because I have a right. Everybody has a right. Somebody stepping in on my right to do all these things, to form, campaign, and participate. What do I do then?
Yes, for every problem, there's always a solution. Like in this instance, we have this book called our Constitution. Whenever rights are violated, one can vindicate their rights through the court systems. That's another solution. Well, I think that's the most solution that we are looking at this stage, to approach the courts for recourse depending on the gravity of the matter, of course. Well, I think still on that issue, I think there is a need also to take a look at this thing on another angle, from another point of view. For example, let us not look at it from the electorate, from the electorate's point of view, but rather on what someone with these rights that they can do. For example, let us look at the issue of OT. Someone can be voted for. Someone has to look for OT. He has the right to be voted for into an office, a public office, from the rights that I've read here, so long as those people are a citizen of this country.
All right.
So,
okay.
yeah, we can look at it that way as well, in as far as the political rights are concerned. There's nothing special about the people being voted for.
Okay.
Just being a citizen is enough, and then, yeah, people should just maybe be educated on how they should qualify to be voted for into these public offices, and so forth and so forth.
Okay.
Yes.
So you mentioned the court, and if we open the court system issue, it might be another long discussion, but basically saying, according to the Constitution, if you find your rights are not being acknowledged, that they've been violated, the court system is the best way to address such an issue. Also here, it says you have the right to participate individually or collectively in gatherings or groups in any other manner in peaceful activities to influence, challenge, or support the policies of the government or any political or whatever cause. We find that sometimes you try to have a gathering,
Yes.
then the police step in. How are they stepping in here? What should people do? How should they be working with the police to make sure that their right is also supported? No, this is not sanctioned and things like that. But from what I'm reading here, it says I've got the right to gather collectively in groups. So how do we address that situation?
Well, to answer that, basically, for every right, there is a limitation. I'll put it that way. For example, this very right that you are referring to, there is an internal limitation to say you can do you can engage in political activities, but then there's a word that says in peaceful political activities. So long as probably those activities are conducted in a manner that is not peaceful, that is when maybe police will step in. So people maybe should be wary of these rights, that they are not absolute per se, but should take care to look for those limitations that are there within the rights, so that they don't find themselves in trouble with the law.
Okay. So ekufundeni wethu kanapha, you're saying there's limitations, but wengawaboni lapha, because it's becoming rather difficult, because I thought this was a very straightforward document. So kanya sokulama invisible connotations and things like that. And it's not as simple as I thought it would be, judging from what you've just said. There has to be a lot of education. Because I can't just take this on face value, as you've just said. You said there are certain limitations, and how do I get to finding out such information that I am reading here, but then you are saying that there's something else that is implied? How can I get to find out more? Or for the person who's watching saying, okay, I just thought it was a straightforward constitution, but there seems to be some things that are not explicitly written out.
Yes, I think the best way to come up with a solution on that, I'll just advise the viewers that probably this book that we're holding right now has got number one, simplified versions, which are much shorter than this one that we're holding right now. So, well, probably it will be explaining in much simpler terms all of these things that are here. It will compress all the things, but then it will be detailed. The other thing is that this book as well is there probably at Legal Resources Foundation in different languages, different local languages. So probably if one can maybe look for a version of this in a local language of their choice, they can still find it. And it can actually unpack this seemingly difficult language which is written in this main constitution.
Okay, I like the highlighting of that, to say, fine, it's a 152-page document that we have here. For viewers who might not be aware, this is the simplified version of the Constitution, and as Mr. Nxumalo has just mentioned, it has been summarized, it has been broken down. It's basically what I would say your beginner's handbook to constitutional studies. So read it, appreciate it, but note there is a much bigger, much more expansive version of this.
Actually, a smaller version of this one that we are having right now.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. There's actually something much smaller than this. Okay. Okay. So this is intermediate. There's beginners and then there's intermediate. So it is available in various languages and for the purposes of being understood and disseminated to all our populations. So let's get to voter registration. Okay. What is your take on trying to get, what is your suggestion rather, on trying to get more people to get out to register and ultimately go out and vote in 2023? What can we do as civic organizations, as individuals, as parents, as legal practitioners, as Zimbabwe as a whole?
Yes, from my view, I think the first issue that we should consider is to maybe probably within our population try to identify maybe a certain sect or group of people, be it an age group or what, that we feel that maybe they need knowledge on this subject matter. Probably from I'm seeing it, I think the youth are the one who are in need of voter education. The past elections have shown that probably the youth don't vote much as compared to the elderly population. So probably as organizations, legal practitioners, and other people who are responsible, probably we should carry out campaigns to put it upon us to go to those areas, identify those areas where those people, the youth, that we feel they need to be taught about voting. We go there and educate them about the issue of voting. For example, us as legal practitioners, like this section that we have been reading, we just need to go there and unpack some of the seemingly difficult provisions that are contained in this constitution. Probably some people do not know why they should vote or when they should vote and so forth. So it is our duty to teach the people out there to say, okay, for example, right now as we speak, we are heading towards by-elections. So many people out there do not know what it is. There is a need for us to teach the people out there to say, okay, this is what is on our way, this is what we are looking at. Please go out in numbers and go and vote for who, and also teach them about who they should vote for, and they should know the people that are the potential candidates to be voted for, and that they get to know all those people and so forth. So that we don't just teach them to go out there and vote for the sake of just voting, but then people should know how they exercise their right to vote.
At this point in time, though, wouldn't it be better for people to just go out and vote for the sake of voting, because the education process might take a while. Just get out. As long, you know, it sounds intimidating. It's like, oh, I should know my voter, my MP, my this and that. It just sounds so. It sounds like a lot of work.
Yes.
And it just sounds so taxing, and we've got other things to do. We've got water cuts and things like that. It's like, oh, then I need to now start incorporating all this political knowledge. But at the end of the day, as long as people get out to vote at this point in time, would it not be better just to have numbers out regardless of their reasons to go out? What's your take on that?
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. I understand your concern there. Well, of course, yeah, I think it's better for people to exercise their right to vote than for this right to go to waste. I would agree with you on that point. But then probably we should stretch it a bit further and say people should know what they are voting for. Yeah.
And for people who might be listening right now and saying, okay, what would you say are the top 3 reasons why people should actually take part in political conversations? Because for so long we've said in politics, I'm a politician. labantu be government, labo MP, why should the woman and the man on the street and the youth on the street take time out to go register and play their part there in a condensed form, Jay?
Oh, well, basically, well, I think the answers will be almost the same. That probably for the betterment of their future. Well, some people have different reasons. Some people would want to see change. That's the number one reason why people would probably need to go out there and vote.
Fantastic. So at this point in time, would you happen to have any last words for our viewers? Because we are at the end of 2021. So 2022 is going to be this massive pre-election year leading up to 2023. What advice or any words would you have to say, especially for our youth and parents of our youth, in trying to get us to be well prepared for 2023?
Well, what I would say is that people should actually concern themselves about the rights that they have. Well, some people may think that some rights are for certain people, but then yet these rights belong to everyone. Like this right to vote, anyone who is a citizen who is in the age of above 18 years has a right to vote, a right to partake in political activities, etc., etc. So I think it's high time people should actually bother themselves to stand up and try to know about the rights that they have and exercise those rights. Yes, that is all.
Mr. Nxumalo, thank you so much for being a part of this ongoing conversation that we're having about the voting process, the election process, and all that. And for our viewers at home, especially for those in Bulawayo, registration is currently underway, and it is at 16 Centenary Court, Windsor Park in Famona. Unfortunately, there's only one place at the moment that is available for people to go register to vote, but please go out in your numbers. 16 Centenary Court, Windsor Park in Famona, Bulawayo. And if you'd like to find out more information, it is available online. Our website is site.org.zw, and please follow us on our social media handles at sitezw. We are on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and we are on YouTube, TikTok, as well as Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this conversation. As I've mentioned previously, this conversation regarding politics and elections is just the tip of the iceberg. We are having an ongoing conversation, and if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And if there's any particular topic that you'd like covered on the Breakfast Club pertaining to anything, any part of the Constitution, anything political, current affairs, do drop us a line and let us know what you would like to find out more about. My name is Sizwakele Ndlovu, and thank you so much for watching the Breakfast Club on Asake Online. And thank you once again to our guest, Mr. Kwanele Nxumalo from Abammeli. Thanks for watching, and catch you in other programs.